Welcome to another episode of Reece's Reviews. My name is Matt, not Reece.
I'm Reece.
But on this, yes, there's Reece right there.
I'm here.
How are you going, Reece?
I'm doing awesome, mate. I'm back on the podcast with you, talking about the things we love, so can't complain.
Cool. Yes, it is a podcast that's all about movies, pop culture, TV shows, reviewing, what have yous, and other news and gossip and shit like that.
Yeah.
All for mygeekculture.com.au. So make sure that other than following this podcast, you're also checking out the website occasionally, because we do have bits and pieces that we randomly post, especially on YouTube, on our My Geek Culture YouTube, where we did a review recently for Mercy.
Yes.
Starring
Chris Pratt.
Rebecca Ferguson. Yes, Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson.
Yes.
We're not going to tell you what happens in it because we're leaving that review for YouTube only.
Yes.
So go and have a look. Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not gonna dig my grave like I did last week when I was talking about Hamnet.
yeah.
Dig the hole.
So, yeah. So if you want to see us on location at the cinema, that's
It's going to be a recurring occurrence this year. You're going to see there's a lot of film reviews that you might not see on the podcast, but be on the YouTube channel. So just keep an eye out for both of those channels. We will always reference the reviews that we do on the podcast to kind of bring more awareness to the YouTube channel. But especially for a lot of things, we get together and do things live, as they say. Keep your ears open for that.
Yeah, Reece's Reviews, quote, live, unquote.
Yes.
Cool. Well, in this episode, we've got honorable mention chat, or entertainment honorable mention chat.
Yep.
And also we'll probably squeeze in one review, but also,
I wonder what that is.
Still going.
Still countdown. Is this going to be this is going to be every episode thing now, I think?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. It's always there.
Countdown.
Anyway.
Countdown to doomsday. Down the doomsday.
Yes. Well, we might as well go into it. Entertainment Honourable Mentions and Reece.
Awesome.
Over to you.
Thank you. So we have some juicy ones here today, and just I'll say juicy, but I would say just one's a little bit juicy, and the other one is a celebration, and another one is even a higher celebration with some things coming out over the last week or so. So I'm going to start off with the first one, which is Zootopia 2. Now, when I reviewed this a couple of weeks, like about a month ago, I raved about this movie, and I thought it was way better than the first one, and I just fell in love with it. It was fantastic, and it has hit the news recently. Zootopia 2 surpasses Inside Out 2 as Hollywood's highest grossing animated film of all time with $1.7 billion.
Incredible.
So it is.
It's Zootopia.
Yes, it is. Or if
Thank
you're
you.
in the UK.
Wait. Sorry, if there we go.
Or if you're in the UK, it's Zootopolis. Whatever that do. But yes, so this is from Variety. I think it's Variety. Variety, that's the word. So Disney's hit sequel has earned $1.7 billion globally, overtaking another hit Disney sequel, 2024's Inside Out 2, at $1.69 billion, to stand as Hollywood's highest grossing animated film in history. So with the box office, Zootopia 2 is now the 9th biggest global release of all time, ranking behind two superhero juggernauts, Spider-Man No Way Home at $1.9 billion and Avengers Infinity War at $2 billion. So that just shows you. So that's just crazy. So you just got that film is continuing to just to provide a lot more awareness. So you got Zootopia 1, Zootopia 2 at the biggest. Then you got Zootopia Inside Out 2 at $1.6 billion, just short of 1.7. Then you've got Frozen 2 at $1.4 billion. And then you got the Super Mario Brothers movie back in 2023 for $1.3 billion. So that's that. And then you've got the first Frozen at $1.3 billion. So there's your 5. Now, a lot of people, if you go on and you check it, you'll see some a Chinese movie called Ni Za 2.
I was about to bring that up. I'm glad that you brought this up.
Yeah,
but we had an in-depth discussion.
We don't really take that into account to an extent because how the Chinese box office doesn't really calculate as a because usually when you got a film that's and when it calculates the box office, they count their box office takings for a third party, and that goes for all the different regular, and that's how they actually officially make the account of the domestic and global box office. And when China releases their films, they do their box office to their own own Chinese distributor, not a third party. So you can't really take into account because you don't know if the bit's been legit or not. So I don't personally take into account that Chinese film because I don't know how much those numbers are correct or not. So I take that out of account. But then, so you got Zootopia 2 is now number 1. Then you got Inside Out 2, Frozen 2, Super Mario Brothers, and then Frozen 1. So there are your animated ones, which is fantastic. So I cannot be more happy about this news, the fact that Zootopia 2 is getting its praises because it's how much of a improvement it is from the first one. It is the story is a lot more grounded and a lot more in depth and a lot more heartfelt. There's a lot more scenes that really just as all Disney films they have a younger audience, but what they do is they make kid friendly films. They don't make kid films, make kid friendly films. So it definitely is a demographic for a younger audience, but there's still a hell of a lot in there for the older audience as well. And just like myself, and I took so much out of it. I enjoyed it immensely. I walked out there with a smile on my face, with a new appreciation for the franchise, and I am not surprised that they're already talking about Zootopia 3. So I am so ecstatic about this news, and I felt it was fantastic. The film had done so brilliantly well, not just domestically but internationally, as we can tell, and I just found this news is fantastic. So I know you haven't seen the film yet, but what's your takeaway from this?
Oh, well, there's always money in animated series and franchises. So, like, if you need some coin or whatever from, a studio, for a studio, cash in on the nostalgia.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Still has to be good, though, because, you still have to make a good movie and make it appealing for the audience to come. And the fact that they took what worked on the first one and elevated it and it made it even better, and they provided a lot more context for the adult audience who are taking all their kids to. It's just so much good, and the amount of pop culture references they squeezed in this movie was unbelievable. I think I lost count.
In the top 10 of the highest grossing of all time.
Yes.
Right. Not adjusting for inflation, but just the main one. Titanic is the only one that's not part of a
franchise.
Yeah. Unless you want to call the story of the Titanic with the multiple makings of it, but it's its own standalone.
Yeah.
Everything is.
Well, I kind of feel like the idea, the number one is still Avatar, and at the time, Avatar was an original film when it came out.
But now it's a franchise.
But that still is number one. Even though you've got 2 sequels now in the Avatar franchise, you still got that as number one. So I just still find it amazing that you've got, again, I don't take into account Nizar 2 because that's a Chinese distributed film, which we don't even know if it's going to be legit or not. But you've got in the top 5. Top 5 are all, for one thing, they're all Disney-owned films: Avatar, Avengers Endgame, Avatar: The Way of Water, Titanic, Star Wars. They're all Disney. They're all owned by Disney, and 3 of those are James Cameron.
Now look at where it's adjusted for inflation.
Do we check that out? Do we take that into account? Really, inflation?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Or just enlighten me. Just for the razzle dazzle filter for our listeners.
Okay. So whereabouts am I going for inflation though?
Well, here for adjusted for inflation as of 2024. Number 10, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Number 9, that's from 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, Dr. Zhivago from 1965. Number 8, The Ten Commandments from 1956. Number 7, E.T. the Extraterrestrial from 1982. Number 6, The Sound of Music from 1965. Number 5, Avengers Endgame from 2019. Number 4, Star Wars from 1977, the original Star Wars. Number 3, Titanic from 1997. Number 2, Avatar from 2009. And number 1, Gone with the Wind from 1939.
Okay.
Now, that is incredible. That Gone with the Wind is like that. The fact that that is nearly 90 years old.
Yes, in my personal opinion, I don't put too much stock in that inflation listing because things are so much different now. You might be taking into inflation, but there is a completely different time. If you would release a film, if you would release Going with the Wind today, it wouldn't perform. And those kind of things, so they were made for their time. And taking into account the different living situations and things like that, how many things
Of course. I
don't really take too much stock in, but I understand where you're coming from as well. So,
yeah. Well, just going by that, the fact that your favorite Avatar's in there as number 2, Gone with the Wind is an extra 400 million more than Avatar.
Yeah, enough. That's cool.
So,
yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much that topic because the whole premise is like Zootopia 2. So taking into account that we're going, like I said, we're going to disregard the listings of these are 2 because I don't really take much into account. So
sure.
But in the top 10, Zootopia 2 is in the top 10 highest grossing films of all time.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Awesome. So that is Zootopia 2. So congratulations to Zootopia 2. If you have not seen it, please reach out and go out and see it. Don't think it's still showing, but it is very close to be. It's available on rent and VOD at the present moment, and it's soon becoming on Disney Plus in the near future, not too near future. So when you can, sit down and give it a go. Okay, on to the next one. Why do I have that? Okay, next thing on my agenda is talking about when we referenced it at the beginning of the podcast and talking about Doomsday, or should I say now Doomsday, as it's now being done to. Yep, bring on the countdown clock. So this is being made the news now. So anyone knows that Denis Villeneuve, like Christopher Nolan, has a good relationship with IMAX. And so he makes his films with IMAX cameras, and a lot of that stuff is done in that mind when he makes these kind of big scenes. And a lot of us were in the pop culture forum, we're kind of just debating, well, it's the fact that you've got these 2 big tentpole films coming out on the exact same day, who is going to be getting the IMAX screens for these films? Who's going to support?
Oh, yeah, because that's going to be... Yeah.
Seeing as how Denis Villeneuve films on IMAX, and Avengers Doomsday would most likely be do shots for IMAX as well. And it has been exclusively done, locked in now. It's that exclusive. So the fact of is in as of last week that IMAX has Dune 3 and Denis Villeneuve has secured all IMAX screen, not just domestically in North America, but all around worldwide. Looks like it for the first 3 weeks of its release. So the first 3 weeks of the release, you would only see Dune Part 3 on an IMAX screen, which means if you want to see Doomsday, you would have to see it in a different screen setting. So here in Australia, you'll probably be seeing on a VMAX screen, or you'll be seeing on Screen X or a 4DX experience and things like that. You will not be able to go to an IMAX screen. It will be that will be Part 3 of Dune. So
that's an interesting thought.
Yes. So anyone who's hoping to see like go into a Doomsday double feature and hoping to go and see both of them in an IMAX screen, then you fortunately, if you're going to be watching it opening weekend, like myself and the main man Matt Man and I are going to do, unfortunately we're not going to be doing that. So we'll be going in to seeing Dune and IMAX, and then we will going out of that and going into another screen to see Doomsday. So this is a huge thing, and I thought it was a good topic to kind of bring up because everyone knows that going into these Doomsday, that Avengers Doomsday was going to be the higher grossing film of the year. Like if you put 2 and 2 together, Avengers was going to earn more money than Doom, because if the evidence coincides with it, Doom Part 1 and Part 2 have progressively gone up, but they're nowhere near Avengers level box office. And so I don't think with doing this that they're going to actually surpass Doomsday. But I think because they've got these 3 weeks, what's the word? Consecutive weeks exclusively in IMAX.
Yeah.
This was going to give them a little bit of a bump, I think, because you've got these dedicated screens for them, and the fact that they're doing it not just North America but worldwide, they've locked them in because IMAX is its own trading company. You got like events they actually would hold it and things like that. And the fact that you've got the film is expected to have the 70mm showings as well, which here in Sydney, Australia, or most of Australia, except if you live down in Melbourne, which is one of the original IMAXs there. Unfortunately, we don't get that. But I am so surprised. I was kind of maybe expecting to maybe have them have like a coinciding deal. Like, say, you have Dune for, okay, yeah, the first 3 days are June, the next 3 days is Avengers, and then you kind of top and tail those points. The fact that they said, no, the first 3 weeks of exclusively Dune, I went, wow, that is a surprise. So,
That is.
talking about all this, what's your takeaway from it?
Well, it just shows you that while the technology is there and the experience is seeing blah, blah, blah in IMAX, it's always going to be, you can't cater for both.
No.
Or you can't cater for more than one. So that's, I guess, where IMAX has kind of bitten its own tail there, because you got two blockbuster movies, and like, what made them decide, oh, we'll give it to June?
It has to be some sort of deals going through. Maybe one thing, the fact that I don't know how much that the Russo brothers were actually did they actually, how much are they actually filming the entire Avengers films
or is it
on
going to be
IMAX with
converted to
IMAX cameras, or
or
it's just being like some of the scenes are done on IMAX and the other are being converted? Which if Denis is very much like Christopher Nolan, like I said, that he is all for IMAX and he does with IMAX cameras. I'm not too sure what will go behind those meetings with IMAX and how
Christopher Nolan is an IMAX man.
He is. And
yeah.
The Odyssey that's coming up later on this year, that was 100% filmed with IMAX cameras. So expect to.
And apparently they're very loud as well.
Yeah, and they are heavy, and a lot of them still do on film, not digital.
Yeah,
which is expensive as well. So I'm so surprised by this, but at the same time, it's like, even though we're Doomsday coming and everything's going to be wanting that, it looks like Dune has won the first round and dominated the premium screens with IMAX, which is it's a big surprise. So
yeah, no, well, I'm definitely shocked by that in a positive way, like as in, wow, okay, there you go. Just because you got like 33 other films sitting behind this one where it's the time is ticking.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. But
it's good on Dune. Like, it's like that. They're both going to be hits. And
you would hope
I guess
so.
that with Avengers Doomsday,
I think that with Dune, a lot of people raved about the source material for the first Dune because it's based off of the one book. But then you got this book is so got mixed reviews about this the film that the film is based on, which is Dune Messiah. There is so many mixed opinions about that book that it could go either way. But at least
I'd love to see. I know it's not filmed for it and it has to be reformatted so it'll be artificial, but I'd love to see David Lynch's Dune on the big screen. That would be good.
Yeah, it's a common question. I get that. I see in a lot of press junkets. A lot of people say that if you could experience any film in IMAX, what film would that be, past or present? And would you say if any film in film history that you would love to see in a authentic surround sound 70mm, like a big IMAX screen, what film would you want to do?
Oh, that's a difficult one. That is so freaking difficult.
I have two films in my mind.
Okay, well, I'll probably go. Shiza. Damn, you're really making me think on this one.
I'll give you some time to think.
Okay. Well, I would. See, part of me would go Simpsons because the Simpsons movie because I'm a big Simpsons nerd and you can never have a big enough screen to watch the Simpsons on. But that movie is not worth an IMAX size type thing.
Yeah.
So if any, because in fact I did see Simpsons on IMAX years ago, couple of decades ago, where they were. It was not long after the IMAX had opened in the city in Sydney, and then they were showing clips of random bits and pieces of other, this is what the IMAX can do type thing. I can't remember if it was like a theme behind the movie, and then one of them was a clip they showed part of the Halloween special, the Treehouse of Horror, where Homer's in 3D.
Yeah.
So, and they showed that on IMAX, and that was really cool. I'll probably go see Star Wars, the original.
Yeah.
If the technology was there, like could easily just go bam, done.
Yep.
It would be Star Wars for me.
Okay.
Like, yeah, the original Star Wars. Oh no.
Because I
just thought about it.
Yeah, so I got my 3 that I would love to see on an IMAX, on a purely IMAX screen, and you've touched on one little already, but
okay. For me, just because the sound quality will be fucking superb, Blues Brothers.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just to hear that soundtrack, and then you also would have to dance in the aisles.
Yes. Okay. Me personally, you touched on one of them, but one of them would be definitely Return of the Jedi. I would love to see it on the big ass screen, but also
Cloud City on the big ass screen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Other one would be James Cameron's Titanic, to see that on that epic scale. And then The Dark Knight. That film that was shot with a lot of those scenes in Dark Knight was filmed with IMAX cameras, and I didn't get a chance to see it when it came out on an IMAX screen, so I would have loved to have seen those. So those are 3 films I would love to see on an IMAX screen, but it just shows the popularity that IMAX has, and just the fact that the amount of buzz it has.
Okay. Can I'll give you my proper 3. Okay, I've already given you 2. So Star Wars, the original,
and Blues Brothers. Yep.
Blues Brothers. Yep. Ghostbusters.
That's a good choice.
A good choice. I think Ghostbusters. That will be fucking awesome, especially with Stay Puft coming in, or when they cross the streams. Can you just imagine it? Oh shit! And then his vroom, vroom, like that would kick ass.
Yeah.
Oh,
that would be cool.
Damn!
If only.
Why did I give myself some hype up on that? Yeah.
But yeah, so IMAX is landed a good deal with Denis Villeneuve and Dune Part 3. So there's
your IMAX news.
There's the IMAX news. Okay, now going into the big one for me. Now this is our last one for our Entertainment Honourable Mentions, and this is pretty much one of the biggest days that I look forward to every year. Now, I wish I could take the day off every year just to witness this, but we all have to work sometime. But so I have to always watch it after the fact and try and dismiss all the spoilers and all the different things. But I'm talking about the Academy Awards. Now, recently, last week, they announced the nominations for the Academy Awards, and I just wanted to go through a few of those nominations to see what has been nominated, what we get our 2 cents on the foot, what we thought was missing from there after the year that we just had. And I think it's the good thing about when it comes to the Academy Awards, because you always kind of think, like, when you get around to you kind of go, oh, was 2025 a good year for movies? We don't know. But when it comes down to when the award season turns around and they start making the nominations, you start to realize, hang on, we actually had a great year for movies, and we had a lot of diversity and a lot of different styles of genres and things like that, which is always great when you come around to the award season. So I thought we'd just take some time now to kind of go through some of these nominations and go from there. Okay, leading. So I've got the list up here. So first up, actor in a leading role, we have Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, Ed Wagner Mora for The Secret Agent. Now, to be completely transparent with our audience, I've only seen 2 out of these 5 nominees. I have seen One Battle After Another and Sinners.
I'm gonna disappoint you. I have not seen any.
Well, The Secret Agent is a foreign-ish film that I haven't had a chance to see yet, and Blue Moon has only just started having its marketing here in Australia. So unfortunately, it's one of those things. And then Mighty Supreme has just been released here in Australia, but it got released about a couple of months ago back in the States. So
Mate, I'll show you where I am, where I'm at. Okay, so you see all the not local. You see all the latest films and everything, which I friggin' love your passion with.
Yeah.
And what I do, I sit on iTunes or Apple Movies and so forth and buy $5 films. Guess the last 6 movies that I bought?
Transformers.
Like in the last couple of days.
No, I have no idea.
Okay, I bought Kick-Ass 1 and 2, The Rocketeer, Tomb Raider 1 and 2, and Black Sheep.
Well, it's a brand new year, mate, which means that this year is going to be the first year you're going to see a lot more new releases. Yeah, and we're already off to a great start. We saw Anaconda together. Yeah. We saw Mercy together. It's just going to be a great year for you and I. We're going to get a lot more out of it. So that's that. So me personally, like I said, I have Sinners was in my top 10. It's my number 1 film of the year for me. So if I was a voting member, I would personally give it to Michael B. Jordan, but that could also be taken out of context because I've only seen 2 out of the 5 performances. I do have plans of eventually watching Mighty Supreme. I've been hearing that Timothée Chalamet's performance is absolutely fantastic and that he's a shoo-in. He just won the gold. He's pretty much the shoo-in. Everyone thinks that he is going to be getting it. It's pretty much a 3-horse race when it comes to the leading actor between Timothée Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Michael B. Jordan. So everyone kind of thinks it's going to be Timothy. But I personally think if they read out Michael B. Jordan or Michael B. Jordan's name, I will be ecstatic because I thought that performance was great. He played twins in that film, and it's brilliant. So that's that one. Going into actor in a supporting role, we have Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein.
Oh, the Aussie,
yep.
Yes.
Delroy Lindo for Sinners, Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. Again, I have seen One Battle After Another, Frankenstein, and Sinners. I have not seen Sentimental Value, which I've been hearing some great things about. And so Frankenstein, with Jacob Elordi's performance in Frankenstein, I think it's well deserved. I think that was a great performance. It's very much a character study, and it's definitely a different take. It is definitely.
Here's the latest generation or the new generation Hugh Jackman type thing.
He's upcoming, yeah. He's making a name.
He's making it big, he's getting bigger and bigger.
Yes, he's got a new film coming out next month with it's kind of amazing. We've got a Hollywood style film coming out based off a very old famous novel, Wuthering Heights, and two
Margot Robbie,
two Aussies are leading that film with Margot.
But what I'm saying is in the comparison type thing.
Yes.
So the next generation. So Margot Robbie's the Nicole Kidman, right?
Yeah.
Like that. While
Naomi Watts,
they're still active and everything else.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the next thing.
And
then Jacob is the Hugh Jackman of it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And he's being very diverse with his roles. Like he started off with the Kissing Booth movies on Netflix, and now he's doing Frankenstein and Wuthering Heights. He's on a Emmy Award winning
Utopia and not Utopia, Euphoria.
Euphoria on HBO. So he's doing a lot of diverse stuff, which is fantastic to see as well. Now going into actress in a leading role, we have Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, another Aussie, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'll Kick You,
another Aussie from. Yep.
Kate
New South
Hudson.
Wales represent.
Yeah, go Rosie. Kate Hudson for Song Song Blue. Renee Rensviv, apologies if I've mispronounced, for Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone for Begonia. Again, I have only seen 2 of these movies. I've seen Hamnet and Song Song Blue. Both.
Well, that's just not good enough, is it?
No. So unfortunately not. I do have plans of seeing Sentimental Value, and seeing as how Rose Byrne is getting some attention for this performance, I wouldn't mind sitting down and watching If I Had Legs I'll Kick You, just to see her performance.
I'm sure when you go on your trip overseas, you'll be able to watch it on the flight.
If it's on the flight.
I'm sure it would be.
Maybe. But seeing Hamnet recently and seeing Song Song Blue recently, both of those are well deserved. I personally think it is Jessie Buckley's year. that performance was haunting. It was beautiful. It was captivating. So me personally, if I was voting, I would vote for Jessie Buckley. And just to backtrack a little bit, if I was making a voting for actor in a supporting role, I think I'll go for Sean Penn in One Battle After Another. That was I just recently watched that. It was spine tingling, which I'll be talking about very shortly. All right. Actress in a supporting role. We have Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value, Iga Isdora Elias, I can't pronounce that right, Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan for Weapons, Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners, and Tanya Taylor for One Battle After Another. Amy Madigan's performance in Weapons was chilling and thrilling, so I can understand why she's getting the attention she did. That was a very thrilling performance, and the same for Wunmi for Sinners. And I haven't seen, and Tanya was a great breakout performance in One Battle After Another. So if I would to give my personal vote, I would pretty much put it between Amy Madigan and Tanya. Amy Madigan for Weapons or Tanya Taylor for One Battle After Another. That's me personally.
Cool.
So please stop me if you have any 2 cents in the factor, mate.
No, I will be. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Next one we've got Best Animated Feature Film. We have Arco, we have Elio, we have K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelia, or the character of Rain, and Zootopia 2, which you were just talking about.
Going by the hype from not Zootopia 2, but online from what I see, I think K-pop Demon Hunters will get that win.
I think so. I also think Zootopia 2 has a good chance as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. A new category that they've actually done for the Academy this year is Best Casting. So we've got nominated for Hamnet, Mighty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. I personally think it's a running up between One Battle After Another or Sinners. Me personally, I would give it to Sinners, but I'm a little bit biased in that aspect. Probably go one or two more. We got cinematography, Frankenstein, Mighty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams as well, which is the new Aussie film. Not Aussie film, but Aussie starring, I think it's Joel Edgerton. I think he stars in that one.
Yep.
Cinematography, I think it should go to Frankenstein. It was very gorgeously done, but I can also see Sinners getting that as well. I think that was very well done. And I think I want to finish off with one of the bigger ones as well. You've got Best Director and Best Picture. Best Director, we've got Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Mighty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Joshin Chiri for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. I personally want to give it to Ryan Coogler for Sinners, but I have a strong suspicion that's going to go to Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. That film's getting a lot of attention. I think it's going to go his way, personally.
I think Ryan Coogler is in with a really good chance.
Yeah, I really hope so too. Really hope so. I'm going to finish things up with Best Picture. This is the biggest the thing of the night. The one thing that everyone wait for is the last one that they always give out every night. So and the last couple of years they've changed it from being 5 nominees to 10 nominees. So We've got Best Picture. We've got nominees are Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Mighty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
And also the timer from Avengers Doomsday.
Oh, I love it. All right. So I personally think the dark horse is going to be Sinners, but I got a strong feeling it's going to go to One Battle After Another. It's just that's getting a lot more
battle after another.
Yeah, I think it's just getting a lot of praise lately. I think it's getting a lot of rewards, especially at the Golden Globes and things like that. So I really want Sinners to get it, but at the same time, I think it's going to go to One Battle After Another. So there's a few other categories that we could have touched on, but with that all being noted, what I've just gone through, which is the main ones, I think, we could have touched on original score and best original song, and then we're also going with what's it called, best visual effects and things like that. But
we'll be here all night.
Yeah, exactly. So what after all the things I've just gone through, what's your
I think it's
takeout?
going. My thing is, it's going to be controversial in a great way. There's going to be some really close calls. Going by sounding what I could hear from that list, it's going to be really close. Like Ryan Coogler, like there's a lot of strength in these movies.
Yeah, the fact that I feel so privileged at the moment. The fact that we're in we're in a decade or place at the moment in filmography films where we're getting films from Paul Thomas Anderson, Ryan Coogler, Denis Villeneuve, Steven Spielberg. We're still getting film. We're getting no one this year. We're getting Christopher Nolan. We're in such a great time for all these visionary directors like bringing out films. It's actually fantastic, and I think one of the things I want to point out is that even though I didn't like the second one, it got a lot of nominations last year, but Wicked did not get one nomination this year.
Yeah,
not one.
When I heard about that, I felt heartbroken for you.
Yeah, well, I can understand it to a point, but I thought at least that Ariana Grande would have got a nomination for either lead or supporting. Really thought that she would have got a nomination, which I was upset about. And visual effects, not one superhero movie got nominated. The year that we've got Superman and Thunderbolts, I cannot believe we didn't like those visual effects didn't get nominated. But I think the Academy is a little bit prejudicial against those kind of genre films that very much stand up against them. But I digress. So cool. Yeah, that's pretty much the Academy Award nominations, and they will be. Please listen closely to our podcast. We will be covering the Oscars when they come. They will be showing live here in Australia on Monday, March 16th. They will be showing live, so keep tuned on that week's episode, which is going to be great because either that week's episode when we're covering the Oscars, we might do all of our Entertainment Honourable Mentions that week. I think it's just going to be covering the Oscars because I'm going to be so giddy about it. I want to talk about as much as I possibly can, and so it's going to be I want to review it. I want to talk about the opening monologues, the acceptance speeches, the award as a presentation as a whole. So it's going to be looking forward to. It's one of my great plays. I look forward to the Oscars every year. It's kind of like my candy land. So absolutely love it.
Well, that wraps up Entertainment Honourable Mentions. Now going from something that was mentioned during Entertainment Honourable Mentions and I'll say it again, and that was mentioned within Entertainment Honourable Mentions. Reece, bring on your review.
Hell yes. Touched on a few things, and literally just a moment ago within our Entertainment Honourable Mentions is a film that has been nominated quite a few throughout this award season and has been nominated for Best Picture. I have recently just sat down and watched for the first time One Battle After Another. This is the new published Paul Thomas Anderson film, also starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, and Benicio del Toro. Now, I had no idea what was going to be happening when I walked into this film. I had not too sure what the film was about. I couldn't too much remember the marketing when it came out, but I just, with everything going on with all the award seasons going on at the moment, I thought I am very much, like I said, I am very much a film lover. I'm a filmography lover. I love the Oscars, and award season is one of my favorite times of the year, just to go see all that fun of stuff. So I try and get around to watching at least the ones that pique my interest a little bit when it comes to the Oscar season and just seeing the films that have been nominated. And this is one on my list I've been trying to get around to watching for quite a while, and I finally got around to watching it. And I can say it did not disappoint. I rated this film 4 stars out of 5. And
4 out of 5, wow.
I think I think when I originally started, I think I gave it 4.5. But then when I had some time more to think about it, it downgraded a little bit, just down to a certain points when it comes to just trying to put it down to what I thought was. I think the pacing is quick and done. Like you definitely you get thrown right into the middle of the story right and quickly. And I think there's certain moments when you get towards the middle of the second act that it starts to drag, that slow down a little bit. But then
so all the energy went into the beginning.
It does, but for the first act, and then majority of the second act, it's going good. And then there's a little part in the middle where it slows down a little bit, and then it picks right back up again at the end, which is actually a good thing. So it doesn't actually have that much of a slow point. But I think when you get down,
here's a question for you, right?
Yeah.
The budget, right, for one battle after another was between 130 to 175 mil. Okay, and the total box office is 207 mil. Now, is that considered a flop?
Okay, so you're saying it brought in worldwide box office was to us, which is how much did you say?
207 mil.
207, and what did you say was the
between 130 to 175 mil?
So no, it lost money.
Okay.
So once you take into account that, because that'll probably just be the budget for the film, then you got to take into account marketing budget, and then you got to take into the cut that the cinemas get when it comes to the box office as well. So with that being said, it didn't.
Here we go. Yes, you are correct, because right here I'm having a quick look at the notes.
Yep.
And the film ended up being a box office failure, unfortunately.
Yep.
Because it needed to get 300 million to break even.
Yes, there you go. There's your answer.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people think that if a film, for example, takes 100 mil to make, then if you make 100 mil at the box office, you've won. That's not.
No, you gotta
because 100 mil is the production budget, but then you got to take into account the marketing budget, which may be an extra 80, 90, 100 mil, depending on how much they put into their marketing, which, that takes your budget to 200 mil. And then you got to take into account, when you put that into theaters, then there's a certain cut that the theaters have to do, which is a percentage. And so with that being said, you probably have to get, if a production budget for a film is 100 mil, and then you got the marketing budget of 100 mil, you're probably looking at least 250 to 260 to break even before you're in the plus. And so with this one, One Battle After Another is getting all the acclaim because of how diverse it is. It's an original idea. It's original concept and things like that. But it didn't do well at the box office. No one went out and saw it until the word of mouth came around, and by that time it was too late. And so, which is definitely a shame, because direction, screenplay, and performances are at the level worthy of award recognition. So all these are on point. It
also just shows you too that it may not be a profitable movie, but it is a peer endorsed, praised film.
Yes, it is. Absolutely, it is. When I was kind of going through this kind of film, I hate when everyone says it comes to me, or I can see online, they say Hollywood doesn't make anything original. Exhibit A. At least three of the best what's it called? I would say the best picture nominations are originals. You've got F1 is an original film. One Battle After Another is an original film. Sinners is an original film. So original films are being made. People just don't go out and see them because they're not flush and new and franchisey and doesn't have the certain little finesse as a big showboaty kind of thing. But this film delivers on a lot of avenues. Paul Thomas Anderson delivers on a direction style of cinematic, and it's driven with his unique style. I put all this in my Letterboxd reviews. It stands apart from a lot of other films that I've seen that were released last year, and there's a specific scene towards the end which is getting talked about, which is it goes on for about 10 minutes. It's nothing giving away with a narrative of the plot, so I'm not giving away too many spoilers, but it's literally about these cars following each other and trying to catch up with each other, and the way he shoots the scene, it's so nerve-wracking, and it's a simple shot following the road, going up and down, following these cars. It is cutting back to each of the drivers that are following in this sequence, and it was so nerve-wracking. It's so well done. The pacing is done so adequately and quick, and it adapts to so well. Like, you go from one scene to another, and each scene elevates, which is why it comes down to a good director working with a good editor. Each scene moves the film forward, and each scene is necessary and to push the narrative forward. It's not like you get one scene and going, "What was that there?" Each
Yeah.
scene was important to the narrative. But yes, like I said, it does have some slow points in the middle of the second act, which it drawed it down for me a little bit and took me out of it a tiny bit, but then brought me right back into it when you get into the third act, which takes into no well. So
do you think that Els will to be nominated for their awards?
yes.
It's well recognized,
Yes.
like it's deserving of them?
Yes, absolutely. I would say that because I got to this film late, there is a chance this film would have made my top 10.
Oh, okay.
Possibly. I'll have to rethink. I have to go over and look at my top 10 list again. If not my top 10, it would have definitely made my honorable mentions, because it made a bit of an impression on me. And the subject matter, with just being about revolution and about like doing the what was the word you kind of would look for, is pretty much the rebellion of the people, like people standing up,
the uprising,
standing up for yourself and doing those kind of things. So seeing it, the story from their point of view and how they will look and all the different codings they will use. It's so it's a different film, and it's definitely a style of film that you don't see very often, and definitely one that should be watched and experienced. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's like one of the key quotes from the film. I found it funny. I put it in my review. It's like, you get to a point where Benicio del Toro, it is a little bit of comic relief, and he's trying to convince. It's in the trailer where Leonardo DiCaprio is trying to jump out of a car, and then you got Denis del Toro goes, "No fear, no fear, no fear," like Tom fucking Cruise. It was like so. It was like, it was classic. So it's like, there's a lot of. I can understand the recognition that Leo is getting for it, because this is a performance you don't see hardly ever from Leonardo. He has a lot of comedic moments in this film that you don't see hardly ever. Like, I saw some comedic moments from Leo in The Wolf of Wall Street, but it's a completely different style in this one. So the recognition he's getting is definitely well deserved of that.
Neat.
And
cool.
Sean Penn, I have to talk about Sean Penn briefly. The reason why he's getting the recognition, because his performance as Stephen L. Lockjaw is so commanding when he's on screen, but so unhinged. Like, he's so freaky at times, when especially he's talking to certain characters, like, you don't know where he's going to go, and it's so it is very unhinged, and a lot. That's the word I would say for him, is unhinged. You don't know what he's going to do, and he's some disturbing in points as well, and probably not disturbing that mean he's going to beat some hell out of somebody, but it's disturbing in other ways. So he's definitely getting that point as well. So I would definitely recommend it for not just yourself, but our audience, if they want to see something that's different outside of the norm when it comes to stereotypical mainstream Hollywood films, then give this one a go, because it's definitely worth it. It's not for the faint of heart when it comes to like a younger audience. It's definitely for an older audience. The themes that's behind it. It sounds like they show things inappropriately, but it's the themes behind it as well, and some fun parts as well when it comes to funny, watching Leo in the different scenarios he gets put into as well. So I rated it 4 stars out of 5. It could be 4.5, but it's a solid 4 stars for me on Letterboxd. So that is my review on One Battle After Another.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Reece.
No worries.
Well, that concludes this episode of Reece's Reviews. Reece, thank you again for bringing on the news, the entertainment world.
No worries. I love it.
Just a little bit of everything. So love your passion as always, and always having a lot of fun doing this. So, it's going to be a bit of a weird next couple of weeks, but don't worry, we'll have stuff here for you.
Absolutely.
So we're not going to have our consistent, our regular episodes, but we will have stuff else. But also make sure that you stay subscribed, especially on YouTube, to My Geek Culture, because we might have some random YouTube-only episodes. So
absolutely.
Yes. Again, thank you for listening, and feel free to reach out to us, info@mygeekculture.com.au. All the details are in the show notes. My name is Matt, and that also has been Reece.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, we'll catch you in the next episode.
Hell yeah, be kind to yourselves, be well, have a great weekend, evening, and as always, my friends and family, may the Force be with you.
May the Schwartz be with you. This has been a Matt Fulton Productions